Posy Lane just recently hit 200 subscribers, and I want to thank every single one of you that subscribed. And I'd love to hear from you. If you're a subscriber, or maybe this is your first time watching, I'd love to hear your ideas. So please put them in the comments below. I want to work that into videos that are coming out soon. Hey guys, it's Emily. Welcome to Posy Lane. At Posy Lane, we like to do fun, easy, doable crafts. Make sure to hit the subscribe button so that when new videos come out, you're the first to get notified. Today, we're going to be making all of our crafts with clothespins. They're such an easy thing to find, and every single one of our crafts is also going to have flowers because I'm just obsessed with flowers and I love them. We're going to be making a flower bloom, a really quick office supply, and then the last thing we're making is like a beautiful country roadside scene. We're going to be making flower out of clothespins. So we're going to be taking them apart and building a really beautiful bloom out of them. And you'll need 24 clothespins for this. I got all of the clothespins apart, and I'm going to be using this bright magenta to paint them and just using a foam brush because I think that will be the easiest thing to work into the wood grain. As I'm painting, I've noticed it's really easiest to just kind of hold it on this thinner end and paint the rest of it. Because if you hold it on this end, there's more grooves and stuff that your fingers are going to be in the way of. And then just at the end, I'm making sure to paint where I was holding it. The paint is all dry now on the clothespins. The next thing that we're going to do is just hot glue 2 of them together using the long side of each of them. And this will act as our petal. When we're using the hot glue, make sure not to squeeze too much on there. We don't have hot glue kind of oozing out of the petals. To make the bloom, we're going to be taking our petals that we made and we're going to be gluing this bottom part right here that's flat, and then we'll put the flat pieces up next to each other and go all the way around gluing them. Before I move on to gluing on the next petal, I just want to make sure that I hold it down for a few seconds to make sure that that glue has had some time to harden. Put 12 pieces on, so I'm halfway through. You can kind of see how it's starting to make the round center of the flower. The last one to put on is kind of tricky because you're having to fill in this gap and make sure that nothing else comes apart. But if anything did start to come apart, it's really easy just to glue it right back together. The last thing that we need for our bloom is a hanger, and I'm using green yarn because I thought that kind of looked like the leaves or the stems of the bloom. All you have to do is basically wrap the yarn around this. I'm going to wrap it around a bunch of times and then I'll tie it together at the top and make a knot. A couple of weeks ago, I was at the Dollar Tree and I saw this vinyl paper with a floral print on it and I fell in love with it. I thought it was so pretty. And so when I was thinking about different things I could use, what if I just put some of this to make a cute magnetic clip for organizing some of my stuff? I want to make sure that some of the pretty flowers are actually on the front of here, and so I'm just going to place this below and kind of cut the excess off. When I have something that I can just stick to it and I don't actually have to trace. I feel like it takes a lot less time. So I like that I was able to just stick flowers on here, just trim off all the excess. This is going to be a magnet, and I found this long strip of magnet at Hobby Lobby. It's still a little bit too wide, but I can always just trim it off, and it's already peel and stick, so it'll be really easy to stick on the back. One of my favorite things to do during the summer is to take drives in the countryside, and so I thought it would be so fun to make a countryside scene out of popsicle sticks and clothespins. For the grass, we'll probably use some moss to make it kind of look overgrown, and for the wildflowers, we'll add that I think will look really pretty and add some pops of color. We are going to be building our picket fence for the countryside scene first. You need 3 of these clothespins and 2 popsicle sticks. The picket fence is really easy to assembly. The reason I wanted it all to be even was because we're going to be having it stand upright and attaching it to a base. And this base is actually just like a pallet, or a mini pallet, I guess, that I found at the Dollar Tree. For the grass, we're going to be using forest moss, and I'm just going to be hot gluing it onto the base and trying to cover up all of the pallet. I like the idea of it kind of looking overgrown and wild, so I'm just letting it not really be too uniform as I'm putting it on. The last step that we're going to be doing is just adding some flowers, and really if I put them like this, I think they're a little bit too tall, so I'm just going to trim them down. I mentioned these were leftover flowers. I actually got these in the 97-cent section at Walmart. If you haven't checked out Walmart's florals, you definitely should. Clothespin flowers came out so beautiful. I made one in yellow too, and I love all the bright colors. It's so cheerful for the summer. But if you had different decor, you could make these customized to whatever matches your decor. You could even maybe stain the wood if you wanted it more of like a natural look. I think that would look so pretty. These little clothespins were so quick and easy to make. Really, you hardly needed any of the vinyl. You could use scraps of vinyl to make them, and there's so many different patterns that you could do these to match whatever your office supplies look like. The countryside scene came out so adorable. I would love to sit this out even in the winter when I'm kind of feeling a little down because it's not so bright, because this would just brighten up my day. Thank you guys so much for joining me this week at Posy Lane. I had so much fun crafting with you, and I can't wait for next week.